I'm going to show you some ways that you can work with paper to make it three-dimensional. You don't normally think about paper as being sculpture, but when you start doing things like bending and scoring the paper, it pops up and that makes it into sculpture. First thing you need to do is pay attention to how paper bends. Paper has a grain just like wood. Paper will bend easier one way than another, and the way to find out how that is just to take it and bend it like this. This is the way the grain runs. In other words, the fibers are in the paper this way, and so whenever you're going to go across the paper, you want to try to go the same direction as the fibers. So this is the way the paper will bend on this particular sheet of paper. You probably all know how to cut a heart, but just in case you don't, we'll see how this bends. This is the best way for this. You have to fold the paper in half first. Just crease it like that. Take the scissors. If you want to, you can draw the heart first. If you don't have to, then just cut out with the fold on this side. If you're right-handed, just go around like that and in like that, and there you have the heart. If you wanted to, you can make successive hearts inside of the heart. Of course, you can make them big and you can make them small, whatever you want to do. So when you open this up, you have a piece that you could use somehow on your Valentine character mailbox, but this is how you would have a heart inside of a heart. Now I'm going to show you some different ways that you can work with paper to make it three-dimensional. The first one is called fringing. All you do is just hold the paper in your hand and make cuts like this, sort of close together, and you just cut it all the way across. You see that I'm leaving some paper at the top, of course, because if you didn't it would fall apart. Just make little snips like this, all about the same. And you could use this for maybe a mustache, you could use it for bangs, put hair on the side of the box, whatever you would like. So this is fringing. Now if I wanted to, I could start bending this up, and that's what's making this look three-dimensional. You could also use scissors to curl it, or you could roll it on a pencil, and you see, just like that, you can start making it look three-dimensional. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to curl paper. This strip of paper is about 12 inches long and a ½ inch wide. Probably you wouldn't want it to be any more than an inch wide. Take a pair of scissors, open them up like this. You put one finger underneath the paper, you keep your thumb on top, and you just draw the scissors across the paper like this till you get to the end. And that's how you curl the paper. This will be good for hair. It might be easier to curl the paper for some children if you roll the strip on a pencil like this. Just roll it all the way up and then just remove the pencil. If you want it to be tighter, you have to roll it tighter. You may have to do it more than one time. There you are. So you have one done with scissors and one done with a pencil. Next way I'm going to show you to make paper look three-dimensional is pleating. Again, remember, you want to go fold the paper the way that the paper wants to bend. This is the way it wants to go. So you just fold it like that, crease it, and then fold it back the other way, and you just keep doing this back and forth and back and forth. If you have some extra left over, as I do here, you can just cut it off. Actually, it's the same way that you make a fan. You could glue this together like that, and maybe somehow this could become a decoration on top of the box. Maybe something in the hair, maybe part of a hair bow or something. But this one is called pleating. Now I'm going to show you a technique called scoring. Sometimes it's easier to make paper bend if you use a ruler and some scissors. You open the scissors up like this, hold your hand on the ruler, and just draw the scissors across the paper like this, and then it will bend very easily. Just like that, a nice crisp line. So that's scoring. Another thing you can do is freehand scoring. You don't use any tools for that. You still use the scissors. But you might have a piece of paper like this, and what you do then is you just take the scissors and you draw an arc from one corner to the other, and then the paper will bend very easily like that. So you might use this for eyebrows. You could use it for a mouth or something like that. You could maybe use it for ears. But you see how nice that did? When you score it, it bends really easy. The next way you can make paper look three-dimensional is to make a spiral. So I like to cut a square into circular shape to begin with. However, you could keep the paper square, you could make a triangle, you could do a diamond, whatever. Once you get it cut down into the shape you want, then you just start cutting into the center. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You could also use this technique for hair. Here again, you could use it for eyes. If you want the eyes to be coming out of the Valentine mailbox, you could glue eyeballs on the end of this, but in a more appropriate color. You just keep going smaller and smaller till you get to the inside, and it makes like a spring. And you can see where this could be glued on for hair or whatever else you'd like. I'm sure you've made these before. These are just simple chains, and you could use these for decoration on the Valentine character mailbox. You could use them for earrings or maybe a necklace. You just take a small strip of paper like this, and these of course have already been made, and to make the chain longer you just slide it through there like that, put a little bit of glue on one end, and then fold the other end over, and then just use patience, just hold it. But you don't need a lot of glue, just a little bit of glue. Bend this around, and then just hold it. And of course you could just keep adding to that to make it as long as you'd like. I'm going to show you how to make a cylinder, three-dimensional cylinder. Here's where, again, where you need to see how the paper bends the best. This is not the best way. This is the way the paper wants to go. So you want to put some glue on one end, curve this around, and hold it till it gets glued. If you wanted to make, maybe you want to put hair curlers down the sides of your Valentine character mailbox. So you could maybe do something like this. If you want to make this stand up and get glued on end to the box, you can take the scissors and you can just snip tabs like this and put glue on the tabs and then glue that to the box. There and there. Like that. So that's how you do a cylinder. In addition to doing paper sculpture techniques on the Valentine character mailbox, you might want to use something like paper punches with hearts. Here's one, and in this one you insert the paper this way, just press down, and it makes designs like this. You could cut around that. You could use either one of these to decorate the box.